What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. This one's gonna be long, and this one hurts my soul to have to do. But I am a man of my word, and I told you not to respond and to just let it be. You didn't want to listen. So now I'm here and I'm going to make you look stupid. And it's your fault. You asked for it. Shout out to my dude MM2K. Nothing but love. This is only gaming. But I got to show you where you're wrong. I have to, okay? I don't even know why. I don't have no idea why you did this, okay? So, quick little backstory. MM2K made a video, actually made a tweet first. And he posted that tweet on Twitter, and I simply responded to that tweet, okay? This is my response to the tweet, okay? We're going to do this a little bit backwards. I said, delete this, bro. I want you to listen. How is Indiana Jones going to save PlayStation when it's not even on PlayStation yet? You know what game is on PlayStation that's on the charts? I'll give you one guess. And I put the number 1 in quotation marks. So this was the tweet that MM2K tweeted that prompted me to respond that way. MM2K tweeted, hold on, and I quote, I thought Xbox games were going to save PlayStation. With Indiana Jones charting number 14, its debut months, this spring, who know who's going to be saving who? Oh, we know who's going to be saving who. That's what he said. Okay. Hey, Alex, keep it down. I'm streaming. You got a headset on. You got to yell at them. This dude, he think he actually doing SOCOM stuff. Anyways, so again, hold on. I thought Xbox games were going to save PlayStation. Indiana Jones charting 14th, its debut month. This spring, we know who's going to be saving who. That was his original tweet. Again, I just respond, how is Indiana Jones going to save PlayStation when it's not even on PlayStation? Okay? Now, I made a video yesterday sitting in my car because a lot of people are not understanding who I'm talking to directly. I'm talking to the people that are talking about money. Not the PlayStation 5 gamer is doing great. You have all the options to play all the games. Yes, you got to pay for them, but you can play them all. I'm talking about the content creators that continuously count money, that continuously are looking at charts, okay? Especially the ones that are looking at charts. And MM2K put up a chart and ironically decided to miss that Call of Duty was up there. Call of Duty always charts. Shut up! Microsoft owns them now. Go cry to your mom if you want. It doesn't matter. Life is not fair. They went ahead and bought Activision. Now that's theirs. If you souped up a freaking car or whatever and you put hours of work into that car and a lot of money and said, I come and I buy it and you sell it to me. Now that's my car. You can't walk around and be like, well, that car was always fast. Yeah, but now my car is fast. Call of Duty Black Ops belongs to Microsoft. Stop crying about it. And it's the number 1 charting game. That's why this tweet was so stupid. And I told you to delete it, but you didn't want to listen. But I'm so gracious because me and MM2K, like, I'm cool with this dude. I got no problems with MM2K. You know it's all love, bro. This is going to be entertaining for the people, though. He makes a video, and I listen to the video, and out of respect for him, I don't fully reply. I just let it go. The only thing I said is, hey, he switched up the argument. And he didn't like that I say he switched up the argument, but I'm going to prove to you. How true it is. And I told you, MM2K, not to do this. I warned anybody else that y'all do what y'all want. Give me more content. Y'all go ahead and do it. So let's watch this. So this is his reply video. I didn't get to fully finish it yet because I got too agitated. I said, I can't believe this dude did this. But let's go ahead. Let's have some fun with it. Okay, y'all ready for this?
What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K back again with another video, but I want to talk about the Developers Direct real quick. I think the Developers Direct.
Oh, this is not the right one. I'm so sorry. This is the the first video he made. This is the one that he just replied to. Hold on.
This year, our holiday commercial.
But that other
is
video
just stuff
matters.
I picked up for
That's why I have it
$5
up
from
right
yard
now.
Sale. Oh,
And
good.
that's why I stopped there. I said, this is good. Okay.
I'm gonna show y'all right now. The homie Cold Blood is playing some
Right, so let's get to
trying
my
to
part.
claim versus what we are saying about the narrative that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just started again. Hold on. We'll start it up from the beginning. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy MM. I'm here with Cold Blood. I'm
Hopefully
gonna
I
show
can
y'all
hear
right
it.
now. The homie Cold Blood is playing some rivals, Marvel rivals right now on the stream. Come and check it out. He's killing it. Sometimes he's getting his ass handed to him. No, he's killing it. 4K 60 streaming because my bro got a rig like that. Come and check him out.
4K 60 streaming. That's crazy. And my boy got it at over 100
something
frames.
that we're trying
Nice.
to do new on the weekends, but something else
Okay, this is not about me.
I want to do, which I'm doing too, is I had promised you guys yesterday that I would have a full-fledged video responding to Doc Dark because I did a lot during the live stream, but I wanted to have more of a condensed, less theatrical, just breakdown of what Doc was trying to claim.
I didn't even see the live
versus
stream.
what
Don't make me go through the live stream
Or
to see it.
saying about the narrative that PlayStation is in trouble. Because
That's the first mistake. Sony is in trouble. The PlayStation console is perfectly fine, but Sony is in trouble.
as we're playing more Xbox games. These are his words. Xbox games than we're playing PlayStation games. And of course, Cold Blood is in the background too. I don't care. He might care to chime in and say something every now and again because this isn't
Come on.
like the atypical freeform video. And I want to show you guys the actual video from Doc. This is Doc's video. So definitely go check it out. This is my brother in the car. He's chilling.
It.
He's been listening. He took off the tank top. He's been listening to some Celine
Tank top
Dion.
back on,
He's
MM2K,
crying.
just for you, just
see
for
the
this
tear
one, dog.
ducts. He wiped off his face and he made a video in the car because he don't want anybody else to hear his shenanigans and I guess try to stone him for his crazy rhetoric, right?
Go watch that video. That's a good video.
Shout out to Doc, man. I love Doc. I love him. Like I said, I love him like a kid I don't pay child support for. You know what I'm saying? He's lost his ever-loving mind. Look at him, man. Doc,
Come on, hurry up, get to it.
He don't went psycho, but that's okay. That's my brother. I love him. Like I said, this is all in fun and games and jest with a tad bit.
It is. It's all fun and
entertainment.
game, but I'm gonna make you look bad,
Educational
MM2K.
Here's the problem.
Go
Doc
ahead.
is claiming that Xbox games being played on PlayStation is bad for PlayStation. He said Xbox games. That's been his theme.
Yes. Sony would prefer you to play their games more than third-party games. I don't understand how that's controversial. I don't. I believe Sony would have loved to have seen Helldivers be number 1 on their own platform, Astrobot be number 2, Spider-Man be number 3. You know what? I bet you PlayStation would love to see their top lineup of games on their console look exactly like Nintendo's looks. You're going to argue that?
Didn't start off saying this that, Call of Duty being the number 1 game on PlayStation is bad. He's not saying,
that is what I'm saying.
Service games not being in abundance owned by Play. That's not how he started this off. He said Xbox games being played on PlayStation is bad for PlayStation.
Yes. They want you to play their games. Now, obviously, they're going to take whatever they can. But trust me, they would prefer, again, if the top 10 games that we're charting, I want somebody to argue this with me, please. Tell me that Sony doesn't want their top 10 games to look like Nintendo's top 10 games. Because I bet you if you pull up Nintendo top 10 games, I bet you at least 8 of those top 10s on the Nintendo Switch are actually Nintendo games. and I haven't even seen it, but I'm willing to bet. You don't think Sony wants that?
Right. He's tried this lyrical habuki to try to make it make sense. After he heard my video and after he heard Porter Rock's video, I guess he's gone back out to the drawing. He's gone to the drawing board again. He's gone back out into the woods.
Come on, man. Get to your point, bro.
And he's trying it again. And the only reason why I'm addressing this time is because he mentioned me again, and he mentioned me again incorrectly.
This is the main point of this stream right here. He says that I mentioned him incorrectly. I'm going to react to the entire video, but I'm about to debunk this part right here probably within the next 5 minutes, okay? Probably within the next 5 minutes, okay? He said again that what I'm not going to put words in his mouth. What did he say that I did? That I quoted him incorrectly?
Since I guess he's gone back out to the drought in the woods and me again incorrectly.
What I say again?
Drove his car out in the woods, and he's trying it again. And the only reason why I'm addressing this time is because he mentioned me again, and he mentioned me again incorrectly.
So I mentioned him again incorrectly.
He said that, hey, the reason why, and basically what he's saying is the reason why I addressed MM2K in this tweet is because MM2K was first making a pocket watching claim on behalf of the Sony fanboy.
Facts. That's 100%. He was making a pocket watching a claim on behalf of the fanboys. Correct. Money.
And now he's trying to talk for the gamers. And he's claiming that my original tweet didn't speak for the gamers, where now I'm trying to do that.
Facts. So the fact that he understands this and still made this video blew my mind. The fact that he understands this and he made this video blew my mind, okay? So exactly what he said. He came from a money approach. And what I'm trying to tell the PlayStation fan base, right? And the only reason I'm doing this is because he reacted to this video, right? Is that from a money approach, this is not good for Sony. They would prefer that their top 10 games were all Sony games. I guarantee, the same way that Xbox would prefer that, the same way that Nintendo would prefer that. I don't know how anybody would argue that, okay? As a gamer, though, this is great for PlayStation gamers. And the response video that he made after we were tweeting back and forth, he spoke as a gamer, not as somebody that was looking at the money involved. And that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to just let it rock. I could have called him out on it right then and there, but I just let it rock. But then he comes and does this dumb
absolutely bogus. So, it just shows that.
So listen what he said. He said he didn't do that.
For the gamers, where now I'm trying to do that.
Yep.
Absolutely bogus.
Absolutely bogus.
It just shows that Doc does not understand this. He's great at creating hypothesis and speaking those hypotheses to you.
This is so disappointing.
Time and time again, we've discovered that his hypotheses are not correct. They're entertaining to hear, support my brother, but if you're looking for actual factual outcomes, when the dust settles, he's on the other side. He did not think this was going to happen with the Xbox consoles when we were telling him this. When I was telling him this on our podcast, I forget the name of the podcast. It's on this channel, right?
Find the podcast when you told me that all of this was going to happen. Find it. I'm not saying you're lying. I just want you to find it. It shouldn't be difficult. You said it on your podcast, right? Okay.
The commission, right?
Oh, the commission. You even named it. Okay, on the commission podcast.
That that PlayStation would be outsold by Xbox when they joined with ABK, and that these games would become exclusive and PlayStation was done. He was wrong about that. And there's
again, you got the podcast. Find it, put it up. If I said that, then yeah, I was wrong. But words have meaning. If I said if they make it exclusive, they would outsell PlayStation, that's a different story. If I said they're gonna make it exclusive and they're gonna outsell PlayStation, then I'll take it. Sure, I'll take it. No problem. So do it. Find a podcast.
There's a multitude of other things. I'm not going to get into that because this is not about bashing my brother, my good
I appreciate
brother, my
that.
very entertaining brother.
Thank you.
Check him out. Support the channel.
Thank you.
Become a member. All that great stuff.
Same thing. Y'all go support.
This is all about correcting misinformation so it doesn't continue to get cascaded. He says in his video that I switched it up from pocket watching and talking about the business to talking about the gamer side.
That's correct. Exactly what I said.
He also said that his new argument is that it's not that Xbox games being played on PlayStation are bad for the gamers.
That was never a new argument. That was never, and it's like you don't watch me. That's never been a new argument. I'm anti-exclusivity. So I want you to use your head. What do you think someone that's anti-exclusivity, why would they not want games to be played on a different console? I've been anti-exclusivity. What are you talking about? A new argument. No. It's that you guys have you're so narrow-minded that you can't see anything outside. When I say Sony, you automatically think PS5. When someone says Xbox, you automatically think Xbox console. You can't separate the two. And it shows a problem with your comprehension. A new argument? This is a new argument? I've been saying that exclusivity is wrong and exclusivity is stupid. You can go back. So why would I not want you to play Xbox games on PlayStation? I'm telling you, Sony doesn't want you to play Xbox games on PlayStation. They don't want you to play Xbox games more than you play the PlayStation games. Bro, I can't believe this, bro.
What he's saying is it's bad for PlayStation because PlayStation eagerly wants you to play their PlayStation games.
Facts.
Rather than you play their Xbox. Rather you play anything else. I'm going to show you why that's bullpucky. That absolutely, utterly makes no sense. And I urge Doc to stop.
Bro, I can't believe he's even making this argument. I can't believe this even making this argument. So if you went to Sony, if you asked Sony, hey man, would you prefer that your top 10 selling games on your own platform were PlayStation games? You think Sony would be like, nah, we want the number one selling game on our platform to be an Xbox game. We want the number 2 selling game on our platform to be a EA game. The number 3 game, that's the one that we want for it to be ours on our platform. You think that's what Sony would want? Do you really think that that's what Sony would want? No. As a gamer, you're winning. Sony right now saw the same direct that you and I just saw and saw the hype that all you guys have to play these games. And they're coming in April, right? Coming in May, right? Ninja Gaiden already dropped. I'm telling you right now, Microsoft could be in a position where they're dominating the PlayStation charts. And the fanboys are going to try to use it as ammo, as a haha, we got your games, this and that. And that's perfectly fine. It's cool. I'm just calling out the hypocrites that used to use charts to be like, oh, look how great our games are. Well, then your games must not be that great if Xbox games are the ones that are charting on your charts. It's simple mathematics. And the whole reason I let you slide was because your second video, or the first video that you made, you spoke about the gamer's perspective, which is switching up from your tweet, which you're about to put up right now. So I don't even understand why you put up this video. Don't delete it now. Don't delete it now, because people are going to go to this video. You're going to get way even more views, and it's going to be a great time. Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
He said he's going to stop. He's not going to respond to this anymore. But for the sake of his sanity.
You didn't see the end of the video. Because at the end of the video, I told people not to respond to this. But you did. Maybe you didn't watch to the end. And that's why you're going to smoke.
Stop. Number one, let's address my tweet.
Here's the tweet. He puts it up himself. The same one that I read at the beginning of the stream. Hold on. I thought Xbox games were going to save PlayStation. Indiana Jones charting 14th. Its debut month. This spring, we know who's going to be saving who. And it's a chart of what? Top 20 best selling games. Money. what does this have to do from the gamer's perspective? This is all about money and what sold more. And listen to this tweet. Indiana Jones charting 14th. It's charting 14th. It is a Microsoft Corp game. Hold on, let's go. Where's my mouse? Here it is, right? Microsoft Corp, right? Do you see any other Microsoft Corporation games on here that he conveniently decided not to even mention? Do you see any other one?
In my tweet, I simply say, hold on. I thought Xbox games were going to save PlayStation. With Indiana Jones.
They are, but it's not me saying it. Jim Ryan said it. If this game gets downgraded, this game right here gets downgraded, or this game leaves PlayStation, they wouldn't be able to recover. Why do you think Sony was trying to stop the deal? And what I'm telling you is that now the way things are looking, because Sony just canceled 12 live service games and the game that they got coming out, Intergalactica, all of a sudden, when the 12 live service games, you guys found out that they were canceling all that stuff. Now Intergalactica is okay, right? But a lot of people were downplaying that game as well, right? But now, whatever, right? Buy your Intergalactica. But the problem is, Intergalactica is going to be competing with a lot more Microsoft Corporation games. A lot more of them. But as a gamer, that's perfectly fine. That's great for you to have more options. This is not a gamer's tweet. A gamer doesn't care about what's charting. If I like Indiana Jones better than I like Sonic X Shadow Generations that I've never played, or Super Mario Party Jamboree, which I'm not gonna play, why do I care that Super Mario Jamboree beat Indiana Jones and all those other games? Why do I care? As a gamer, I don't care. So this is not a gamer's tweet. This is a pocket watching tweet. So stop lying. So I didn't switch up. You switched up. And I called you out correctly. And I let you slide, MM2K. And then you do this. That's crazy.
Jones charting 14th, its debut month. This spring, we know who's going to be saving who. Right? And we show here that Indiana Jones.
And this tweet is so stupid, it's ridiculous. You're comparing a game that is on Game Pass PC and is on Game Pass console and is on cloud gaming against a game that you can only get, by buying them. Here's the problem. Every single game that has to be bought full price should beat games that come on Game Pass, because there's a large group of people that aren't going to buy the game, that are going to actually play the game on Game Pass. That's the whole point of Game Pass, is that you don't have to buy the game. You get to play the game. So obviously, you're going to go ahead and play the game on Game Pass, right? Call of Duty still being number one, even though it's on Game Pass, is even more incredible than Call of Duty charting every single year. Call of Duty charts every single year, right? Except for when Hogwarts Legacy beats it, or except when like a GTA game comes out, right? But the fact that Call of Duty still charted, even though it also came out on Game Pass, is huge. Indiana Jones is what's supposed to happen when games come out on Game Pass. It's what it's supposed to happen. But this is what I'm telling you, right? This is for all platforms, right? This is what I'm telling you, right? You don't want to see this start having Microsoft, EA, like, you don't want to see that. And what you don't want is, what you as a gamer, that's perfectly fine, right? But here's the thing. Sony doesn't want to see that, especially on their own platform. Trust me. I don't understand how that doesn't make sense. But this is not a gamer's perspective tweet. You're lying. And that's why, and I just threw a shot at you and I let it go. He switched up, spoke about the gamer's perspective, so I let it go. And you came out here and made this stupid video.
Jones debuted at 14th, but the month it debuted at 14th, it was getting beat out by Marvel Spider-Man 2 at 13th, and it got beat out by Astrobot at 8th. And I think in this video he got the numbers wrong.
Yeah, y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Is looking at a chart a gamer's perspective? Is looking at a chart a gamer's perspective? Because if that's the case, then I should be all over EA College Football. I should be all over EA Sports FC. I should be all over Super Mario Jamboree. I should be all over Sonic X Generations. I should be all over Hogwarts Legacy. I should be all over all these games. Man, I should be playing Minecraft like crazy, like 2K25. I should be playing all these games like crazy. If this chart is representative of the way a gamer thinks, all this is sales. That's all it is.
Astrobot was 8th. Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is over a year's old. None of these games were new this month. Indiana Jones was the only high-profile game, you know what I'm saying, like high-profile, like single-player game that released that month.
And bro, that's another thing, bro. Indiana Jones didn't come out on PlayStation. So Indiana Jones came out on platforms that you also have the option to get it on Game Pass. What do you think is going to happen when these games start dropping on PlayStation? That's why I'm not even mad at Microsoft. I'm not mad at Microsoft. I've said it plenty of times. This brand new argument that you got, I've been saying to put Halo Infinite. I've been saying to put Halo Infinite on PS5. Clearly you don't watch me. I've been saying it. I can't wait for the Master Chief Collection to drop on PS5. Because it's going to prove a lot of hypocrites. It's going to show the hypocrisy. But Indiana Jones can't even be purchased on PS5 just yet. Wait, is that the end of this month that it comes out on PS5? I don't know. But when this came out, you couldn't even buy it. So of course it's not going to help PlayStation. But what do you think is going to happen when a user base of 70 million now has an option to also buy the game? What do you think is going to happen? But again, hey, chat, stay with me, because this is how they try to confuse you. The whole point of me making this rebuttal is that he said that I lied on him, that he didn't switch it up. And I'm going to show you how he switched it up, because this is not a gamer's tweet. What kind of gamer tweets this?
Right? That could be counted on NPD.
This is legitimate
games, but they were like smaller indie.
This is legitimately pocket watching
games. So the bigger high profile games, especially when they're $70, because NPD goes by money made, you would this should have been higher. You've had games like Suicide Squad or whatever.
Bro, do you see how stupid you sound, bro? This should have been higher. You do know the game's on Game Pass, right? This should have been no. The problem that you have with this is that Microsoft does have a game on here that's higher. That's the problem. Why are you picking Indiana Jones and not picking Call of Duty Black Ops 6? Why? Why?
I believe rank higher games that were absolutely duds. So the fact that this game was, on multiple platforms, and it was under games that were on singular platforms that are over a year old, or this wasn't the month that they launched, the argument simply is, how is Xbox saving PlayStation? That was the argument Doc made.
It's saving PlayStation right now for the gamers because you guys have stuff to play, because Xbox is putting games over there. Xbox is putting more exciting games on the PlayStation than PlayStation is right now. And you're not going to argue with me. You just saw the Direct. Everyone was excited about the Direct. PlayStation gamers, PC gamers, and Xbox gamers alike. Everyone liked the Direct. This is Xbox doing this. Not anybody else. Now, I'm not going to argue about first party and publishing, all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But these games, right? These games that Xbox is showing that's going to go on your side as well, on the PlayStation side, that's good for you as a gamer. But Sony has nothing that they're going to be making full revenue off of. You see Helldivers 2? You see Helldivers 2 right there? You see this right here? Helldivers 2? They would love Helldivers 2 to be up here. Now, on their own platform, Helldivers 2, because I think J-Dub put it up, came out number 3, which is great. But guess what was still number 1 on there? A Microsoft Corporation game. But again, what we're talking about right now, gamers don't care about this. Gamers don't care about this. This is stupid pony talk. The PlayStation gamers have been forever using the charts and the Steam sales and the Steam concurrent users and all that other stuff until it's not convenient for them to use it anymore. But you used it, which surprised me because I didn't take you as a pony.
Hey, how is Xbox saving PlayStation when Xbox games can't even save Xbox themselves? They don't chart or do or perform well. No,
it's charting. What are you talking about? It charted. I gotta be living in the Twilight Zone. Xbox games don't chart or perform well. Black Ops 6 is an Xbox game. I'm gonna say it. Black Ops 6 is an Xbox game. Black Ops 6 is owned by Xbox. Microsoft Corporation, parent company of Xbox. The same way that Sony Corporation, parent company of PlayStation. Let me slow it down for you. Black Ops 6 is charting #1 on all charts to include your PlayStation. How much slower do I need to break it down? Sony would prefer Helldivers to be #1. Not just, obviously, on all the charts, but for sure on their chart. Helldivers is in 3rd place on their own chart. And that's without the massive release of Xbox games that are about to go over to PlayStation. What do you think is going to happen? You as a gamer are winning. Sony is in dire distress. That's why they got to make these live service games. Because they need to catch you. Revenue, money. This is all about money, right? They need to get you to play at least 5 service games. At least 5. If they make 12, at least 5 got to hit. How? I hate talking to stupid people, man. And again, you said that I lied on your name. I'm going to prove that I didn't.
Nobody's on the Xbox side is talking about Indiana Jones. You notice that? Nobody's talking about it.
Bro, how much praise does Indiana Jones get? Is this guy living under a rock? Do you know why? Do you know why Xbox gamers aren't talking about Indiana Jones anymore? Because Xbox has games. So when a game drops, we play the game, we say we like the game or we don't like the game, and then boom, you move on from it. Don't you remember Stalker 2 also dropped too, right? Some people loved it, some people didn't like it, but as an Xbox gamer, you chilling. Something else is about to come out. Do you see what's going to happen in April? Do you see? South of Midnight is dropping April. A few days after that, then it's going to be Expedition 33. Then a few days after that, it's going to be Doom. And then right after the Direct, they drop Ninja Gaiden 2. Yeah, we have games to play and to talk about. And now, thanks to Xbox, because it's saving Sony, you have games to play and to talk about. I have no idea how this doesn't make sense. But this is good for the gamer. As a gamer, this is good. You were not talking as a gamer, sir. This is not a gamer's tweet. Don't try to gaslight the people. I'm so disappointed in you, MM2K.
Is that all? Isn't that odd? All right. When you listen to our video from yesterday, or listen to our video from yesterday where we talked about this thing from Doc, I never switched up.
Pause. He said he never switched up. Okay, let me see what he said.
About from the business side.
Listen, he said he spoke about from the business side, and this is what I'm gonna show you how you're a freaking liar, and I can't believe that, bro. Not you. This is a video he's talking about from yesterday.
Whatever.
Let me scoot up.
I know
to it gets to
sales cannibalization focus on this.
Let me get to our part.
The members' content.
Hold on.
However,
okay,
if
watch.
you look at the reaction from the community, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, this was great."
This is the video from yesterday.
Solid.
Okay, watch.
When I was young, I wanted to be a doctor.
Come on.
But I ended up making oatmeal. I'm Brian Tate. I'm the founder.
Watch.
And if these games were exclusive, you would have an opportunity to where Xbox could take advantage of that before the holiday season. I'll talk about that in the video too. But here's what I want to mention to everybody.
All right, listen.
So
listen.
I've been going back and forth with my brother Doc Dark.
Right.
Shout out to my brother Doc Dark.
Remember, he said he never switched up.
This is not personal, y'all. Mm-hmm. So I had to just let somebody know on Twitter, chill, Doc's the homie. We just going back and forth having fun. And for those of y'all that don't realize, I'm not going to go through our whole history over and over again, but Doc and I used to be on a podcast together where we invited him to our podcast called The Commission. We had a lot of fun there, arguing and debating back and forth. It was fun.
Of course.
So, this is just a continuation of that.
Yep.
Doc's the homie, and cool guy. And, this is all, we're arguing and going back and forth about somebody else's piece of plastic, y'all.
Yep. Facts.
Don't get too worked up about it. Anyway. So, but people like my homie Doc.
Come on, get to the point.
They're
Come on.
either intentionally trying to spin the events here or they don't understand it.
Oh my God.
What events am I talking about? That is the events of PlayStation gamers in a celebratory fashion, focusing on the Xbox games coming to PlayStation.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said? And this is why I left this video alone. Even though I didn't misinterpret what your tweet was. But you made a video, I let it rock, I let it be. You said PlayStation gamers. PlayStation gamers. That's what you said. Show me where in this tweet. Please, show me where in this tweet. I'm gonna go back so you guys can see it. I'll put it back up here in a sec. Come on, where is it? Show me where in this tweet you're talking as a gamer. Hold on. I thought Xbox games were going to save PlayStation. Indiana Jones charting 14th, its debut month. This spring we know who's going to be saving who. And then you have the chart. How is this a gamer's tweet? Are you trying to say that Indiana Jones sucks because it's not as good as Astro Bot on this chart? Because if you're talking about what I'm talking about, which is money-wise, hey, some of these games are about to chart higher than PlayStation games. Right? Which is what and again, M2K, I don't know why you're picking this fight because this was never you. I've never took you as someone that used to talk about money, but this tweet is about money. This tweet is definitely about money. Look, December 2024, top best-selling games. Selling games. Selling is money. Not best-rated games. Best-selling games. Okay? Now, this is what your tweet is about. It's not about the gamer's perspective. And there's no, what's the celebratory part here? Tell me what's the celebratory part of this? Somebody explain to me, what are you celebrating as a gamer? You're not celebrating anything as a gamer. You're making a statement that because Indiana Jones did not chart higher than Astro Bot, or charted poorly, because the Indiana Jones charted 14th, that's a reason why Xbox games are not going to be saving PlayStation. Even though the number one charting game is an Xbox games, which you conveniently left out.
Number one, there's been a console war.
But again, listen. You did switch up.
Number one.
As soon as I heard that, bro, I let it fly.
Fashion.
Listen.
That is the
Listen.
So, but people like my homie Doc, they're either intentionally trying to spin.
I'm not intentionally trying to spin nothing, bro. I'm letting you know. Sony wants 12 live service games.
That is the events of PlayStation gamers.
Listen,
in
I spend the event of PlayStation gamers being a celebratory manner. Bro, I was responding to your tweet. Your tweet.
Celebratory fashion, focusing on the Xbox games coming to PlayStation.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Number one.
That's not what this video.
There's been a console war
Yeah.
going on. There's a war outside, like the infamous Mobb Deep said. There's been a console war going on forever, and you putting your games on the competing platforms console is like waving the white flag.
Facts.
And marching you onto their truck.
Facts. The console war has been over. Facts. It's not about the PlayStation 5
So
and the
of
Xbox
course they're
Series
gonna
X.
parade
It's
that
over.
around.
It's about Sony and Xbox.
The bigger thing is, listen,
and it's not even
the
versus.
500-pound elephant.
I was just making a statement. But like I said, I'm gonna let it die unless anybody else keeps responding to my last video.
Excited to try these games out?
That's not what you said. That's not what your tweet was about. PlayStation gamers being excited to try these games. Stop lying and stop saying that I switched up. You showed the own tweet. That your tweet was not about I'm excited to play these Xbox games. That's not what your tweet was about. Your tweet was literally about Indiana Jones charting number 14th on a game that's only on Xbox right now and on PC or on Game Pass platforms. What do you think is going to chart when they do put it on PlayStation?
And I would say, I think a lot of them are. They're actually excited to try them out. But does that mean that because they're excited to try them out, they don't like their own content? Absolutely not. Let me give you an example.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that PlayStation gamers don't like PlayStation games. I'm saying that PlayStation gamers like other games more than they like PlayStation games. And if they start liking Xbox games more than they like PlayStation games, oh, this is gonna be a doozy. They already like Call of Duty more than anything else PlayStation makes. Your chart showed that. And if we pull a chart with just PlayStation on it, it's gonna show that too.
McDonald's and Burger King. As we all know, McDonald's is a way bigger fast food chain than Burger King. Right? So normally you want to go home, get something fast on the way,
again,
you're going to
this video here, this one, I don't disagree with because he spoke about from the gamer's perspective, which is, yes, as a gamer, you're winning. What I disagreed with, or what I simply was attacking was this tweet. I said, bro, don't put that up there, bro. This is a stupid tweet. Indiana Jones. You're going to talk about Indiana Jones. How is it going to say PlayStation was not even on PlayStation? If Indiana Jones had the reach of the 70 million that is on PlayStation, let me ask you honestly, do you still think that if Indiana Jones would have dropped multi-plat on PlayStation as well, do you still think that Astro Bot would have beat it? I'm just asking. I don't know. What do you think? Because remember, it charted 14th with PC, right? Xbox, right? And being on Game Pass, which we know is Game Pass cannibalizes sales, right? Right? So what do you think if Indiana Jones would have dropped on PlayStation? What do you think it still would have been this low? This is a dangerous game you're playing, brother.
Indiana Jones charting 14th. It's debut month.
So again, that other video, not tripping about it because he spoke from the gamer's perspective, and that's why I let it rock, right? This was just tweeting back and forth. But then this video, he comes in here talking about he never switched up. And I just proved to you that he did switch up.
PlayStation is pursuing live service games. I never switched up.
Chad, did he switch up or not? Did he switch up or not? Did he switch up or not?
Talked about from the business side why his argument was a farce. It's a farce because the reason why PlayStation is pursuing live service games is because of this. When ABK was announced.
So it looks like Sony needs saving, huh? It looks like Sony needs saving, huh? Huh.
Sony lost $20 billion in stock evaluation just off the announcement.
That's a lot of money.
Of the deal.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people looked at the ABK games and said, hold on. If you got ABK games that are no longer going to be on PlayStation, that's going to heavily hurt PlayStation's value because a lot of money that PlayStation is making is off of ABK games.
And that's where you're partially right, but you're also wrong. See, I didn't have the chart back up. This is where you're partially wrong, MM2K, and I'm gonna school you on this, even though I don't like talking about the financial aspects of this. I didn't say this. This came out when Sony was trying to block the deal. They said that a downgraded version of Call of Duty would be detrimental to them. So not just games being taken off, just a downgraded version of Call of Duty would be detrimental to them. They would prefer for you to play Helldivers and make Helldivers #1 over Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's facts. That's facts. And yes, Astro Bot charted better and Spider-Man charted better than Indiana Jones, but it's not on PlayStation. what's going to happen when Xbox continuously keeps dropping all these games over on PlayStation. And PlayStation is looking at this like, we got nothing else to drop. What can we do to get the full revenue? Right? Now, the good thing is that they're in a good spot that their console is everywhere. So in a sense, Xbox got to put their games over there if they want them to sell well, right? But the thing is, it's going to sell better than their games. What's going to happen when that happens? As a gamer, again, you're perfectly fine. This is good. This is great for you. I was just saying this is not good for Sony. But I agree, like my last video. Forget Sony. Let them figure it out. If they keep canceling games and y'all ain't tripping, I ain't tripping either.
So PlayStation in turn said, we have to find a way to make live service games successful on our platform just as much as ABK.
Facts. Yeah, we agree on that. Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're not saying, oh, we want people to stop buying multi-plat games on our platform and only buy our games. No, they are simply saying we cannot be in a position where we have successful live service games that belong to somebody else and they get yanked away because the company gets bought. So we have to control our own live service destiny. If that purely was Doc's argument from the beginning, I would have a different reaction. He would still be off a little bit, but I would have a different reaction. Because you guys know that me and Coldblood were the only ones talking about the 20 billion market
Watch how I'm about to cook them. Oh, watch.
Valuation laws. So we're not one of the PlayStation creators that he's referring to. We talk about the business side all the time. It's just that he's trying to talk about it now in order to shame you from celebrating the fact that Xbox games are now have become POW.
No. I don't want to shame you. I only want to shame you if you were one that was talking about the business side of this. If you were talking about how much games sell, and now you're going to have Xbox games sell more on your platform, then yes, I'm letting you know, like, yo, that's not good for Sony. You admitted it. They need a live service game. They already have one, Helldivers 2. Why is Call of Duty Black Ops 6 doing better? And it's an Xbox game. Why? But again, what do you think is going to happen, right? When more games go over there? I'm just asking.
To the PlayStation,
but I'm going to show you how I'm
console
going to cook
war. He's trying to shame you into doing so by saying, "Oh, don't celebrate that, because if you celebrate that, then the PlayStation's gonna die." No.
Yes.
There's a big difference from PlayStation.
Bro, it's not even me saying it. They literally told you have to buy the remakes and the remasters, okay, so that they can support making these new IPs. I didn't say it. It wasn't little Doc Dog saying this. Like you're so smart, right? Did you not hear that interview? Did you not pay attention to that interview? He literally said, buy the remakes and remasters if you want more third party, more AAA games. And then during the documents that came out or whatever, they showed how these live service games fund the AAA titles, right? They showed that, right? Okay, Sony needed their own live service games to fund their AAA titles as well, because I don't know what deal's going on with Call of Duty and Activision now with them, but whatever it is, they're terrified of it. It's not enough. 12 live service games, and they cancel all of them. And now you guys are in Sony's face, like, ha, we got to play Xbox games, yay! You think Sony is like happy about this? Sony would prefer you celebrate Sony games. Sony would prefer you celebrate Sony games. Argue me against that, please. Please, I dare you to argue me against that. It's not that Sony doesn't want you to play third-party games on their platform, but I guarantee you they would prefer if you bought and played their games more. I guarantee it. How is anyone going to argue this with a brain? Why would they want you to play somebody else's game more? And then you said something interesting. That if my argument was about live service games, you would have a different reaction. That's what you said, right? That's what you said. You said that if my argument was about live service game, you would have a different reaction. I'm going to show you how I'm going to cook you.
Making sure that their live service games are success, that they have successful live service games, and that those are charting the top 20, then we getting Xbox games. Let me give you a prime example. What are the 5 Xbox games that were, or 5 games that were shown at the showcase, right?
Watch
the developers direct. Those were, and I'll show some more of my brother playing some Marvel Rivals. Those games were what? Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden 2, which for Xbox publishing, I agree with Aaron Greenberg, not Colt Eastwood the way he was trying to frame it, but for Xbox publishing, those 2 games are first-party Xbox publishing games, right?
Yeah.
So those are 2 Xbox games that are where? On PlayStation.
Yeah.
South of Midnight, right now is only an Xbox game, but like Phil said in the Gamertag Radio to Destin, there's no, that game is likely coming over too.
Yeah.
All right, fine. And then we had Doom: The Dark Ages. The only one that was not an Xbox game was the obscure Expedition 33 game, right? Those 3 games that I just announced, or 4 games, none of them are live service games. So who cares if PlayStation gamers play those games? What PlayStation wants are gamers that play live service games.
Listen to his argument. This is what I'm gonna make you. I told you I was gonna make you look silly, MM2K. I'm sorry. You just said, who cares about the single player games? What Sony cares about is the live service games, right? That's what you just said, your words, right? Okay, let's just say I agree with you. Here's the problem you have, okay? Your tweet was about Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is not a live service game. So I'll throw it back at you. Who cares? Who cares? Sony cares about live service games. That's what you said, not me. Guess what's number 1 on a live service game? Guess what's number 1, and it's a live service game up here. Uh-oh. Now you look stupid. Uh-oh. Here's your tweet again. Indiana Jones charting 14. Indiana Jones not. So I thought Xbox games were going to save PlayStation. Well, if you don't want to use single player games and you only want to use live service games, then this is even worse for you. Because, Black Ops 6. You said it, not me. Jason, right? Jason, You and you my dog, MM2K, but I told Papi, don't do this to me. You're gonna make me look like the bad guy. Somebody's gotta be the bad guy. Everybody needs somebody to point at as the bad guy. Number 1, I didn't switch up. That's why I let your video rock, because you were talking for the gamer's perspective, and PlayStation gamers are winning. You guys get to play everything, you just got to pay for it, which is perfectly fine, right? You get to spend your money how you like. Cool, right? I'm excited that as an Xbox and Game Pass subscriber on PC, I get to play all these games. I'm excited that I don't have to pay full price for them. I am. Doesn't hurt my feelings that I buy what I want to buy, and if I don't want to buy it, I don't have to buy it. That's perfectly fine, right? But if you want to buy it, no knock on you, okay? Playing is what I care about the most. Gamers care about playing games. So you're going to be able to play whatever game you want. This tweet is not from a gamer's perspective. This tweet is from someone that's pocket watching these companies. How? Hold on. Xbox games were going to save PlayStation? Indiana Jones charting 14th. What? Indiana Jones is not even on PlayStation. That's what I replied to. That's why I told you to delete this stupid tweet. But you didn't. You doubled down and now you tripled down on it. And it's not looking good. And now in your rebuttal, you just messed yourself up even more. You said, who cares about single player games? The only thing PlayStation cares about is live service games. Okay, let's play that. Because this tweet shouldn't have even happened as soon as you saw Black Ops 6, Microsoft Corporation, publisher, Microsoft Corporation. As soon as you saw this tweet should have never happened. You should have left this alone. You should have left this alone. I don't understand how that's confusing to anybody. I don't understand how that's confusing to anybody. But okay. Let's go back.
Was right in this synopsis that
so we'll go back to
frequently play live. So who cares?
Damn.
Not an Xbox game was the obscure Expedition 33 game, right? Those 3 games that I just announced, or 4 games, none of them are live service games. So who cares if PlayStation gamers play those games?
Right. Your words. So then why did you tweet about a single player game? Why did you tweet about a single player game if who cares? I think this video, you saw my last video and you realized exactly what I was saying. And I think you could be honest with yourself. And I think you can understand that Sony would love to see their chart look exactly like Nintendo's chart looks like, where most of the top 10 played games are mostly all Nintendo games. I think anybody that argues that is just stupid. It's just pretty dumb. And Sony making live service games is because they see the amount of money that's in live service games. They would love to have live service games on that chart as well. That's theirs. And they would prefer their live service games to be number 1. Why would you not prefer your live service game to be number 1? What I'm telling you guys is this. As Xbox continues to put more games over there, Sony's going to have more competition on their own platform. They're going to make money off of it. Yes. Remember, like you guys say, whatever they make 30% or 20% or whatever the case may be. Yeah, they're going to make money off of it. But is that going to be enough so that you can get your AAA third-party games and all that other stuff? It doesn't sound like it is. It sounds like they need a live service game to hit, and they also need you to buy the remakes and remaster. And they just canceled 12 live service games, or 10 or whatever it was, right? A lot of time spent, probably some money spent as well. That's the only thing that I was arguing. And then when I saw your tweet, I didn't understand. Like, how could you even say is how is Indiana Jones gonna save Xbox or PlayStation when it's not even on PlayStation? Not yet. What are you gonna do this month if, God forbid, Indiana Jones does chart high on the PlayStation chart, or whenever Indiana Jones comes out? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do in April if Doom? What are you gonna do if on the PlayStation, right, charts you start seeing Microsoft Corp, Sony, Microsoft, Sony, What are you gonna do? As a gamer, yes, you're winning. You think Sony is okay with that? You know how you can say there's no point in Xbox making consoles because there's so many other ways to play Xbox games, right? What if it gets to a point where there's no point in Sony making games when there's so many other games out there that are charting better than their own? Uh-oh.
What?
Or worse yet, you guys talk about it doesn't make financial sense for Xbox to keep making console. What if it doesn't make financial sense for Sony to keep making AAA bangers? Uh-oh. I just wanted the Sony content creator to focus on Sony. That's all. Console war's over. So now you guys can go ahead and focus on Sony.
PlayStation wants are gamers that play live service games. Gamers that frequently play live service games. They would prefer that gamers that frequently play live service games play their live service games more. That has nothing to do with Xbox. And when I say more, I mean not the most.
It does have something to do with Xbox because the most played live service game on the PlayStation is an Xbox game. You're not going to dismiss that. What Xbox did was, damn, Sony and EA are making so much money from Call of Duty. We're not making that money. Hey, we're going to buy Call of Duty. Now that's part of our money too.
They don't have to be number one. Doc was right in this synopsis that even though Helldivers gets played less than Call of Duty, if they have 5 games with the success of Helldivers, that's great. He is right in that assessment. Yeah. They want people that are playing live service games to not just simply play Roblox, Apex, Call of Duty, Fortnite. They want some of their live service games. They want more of their live service games to be part of the top 20 games that are played. We've talked about this on the channel before 2024.
So why that stupid
2023 when this happened, before Doc was talking about it.
So why did you have such a stupid tweet about single player games then? When I tweeted you, told you to delete it, you should be like, damn, Doc, you right, I should delete it. Why is your tweet about a single player game then? And you ignored the number one live service game, which is right now you're saying is the most important. Why? Why would you put a chart of top selling games and the top selling live service game is a Microsoft Corporation game, and you ignore that and you go for the single player game, which you said doesn't matter? Why even put up the tweet?
Doc is only talking about it now because he wants to shame you from being excited that Xbox games are now POWs to PlayStation.
No, I'm talking about it now because I realize how stupid PlayStation content creators are, focusing so much on Xbox, and they knew all the rumors about Xbox, and they did get some of the rumors about Xbox right, but they had no idea what Sony was doing. They weren't paying attention to their own platform. That's why I'm pissed now. Because I'm like, yo, you are the PlayStation channel. You could have at least balanced it. Have one video talking trash about Xbox and one video talking, hey, this is what Sony's doing. This caught everybody by surprise that PlayStation canceled 10 games. Nobody had an insider. Nobody, you know why? Because nobody was looking for that. Everybody was looking for negative Xbox news to include the PlayStation channel. A PlayStation channel on YouTube is nothing more than an Xbox bashing channel. And all I was trying to do is, hey, console war's over, white flag, PlayStation content creators, focus on Sony. We gotta save Sony. Stop playing Marvel Rivals. Right now, you're playing Marvel Rivals or whoever's playing. Stop playing Marvel Rivals and go play Helldivers. You should be promoting Helldivers right now. It's an active live service game that PlayStation has. That's what you should be promoting right now because PlayStation needs more people. You want your AAA exclusive and all that stuff? Play their live service game. Keep buying their remasters. That's what I'm talking about. What do you mean I'm trying to spin it because I don't want you to play their game? Stop being stupid. I've been talking about exclusivities is dumb since forever. That when people misrepresents me, there's nothing that pisses me off more than that.
We know his gimmick. We've seen it 1,000 times over. So, the fact that these Xbox games in totality are coming over have nothing to do with live service, the live service desires of PlayStation. They don't want their average consumer that doesn't play live service games to all of a sudden switch what they do. They just want their live service gamers that contribute a lot of money to start looking at their games and concentrating their efforts there. But simply put, bringing over Xbox games that are not live service, 4 out of the 5 that we just seen on the Xbox showcase are not live service. Them going over to PlayStation, those are high margin transactions. Why? Because even though PlayStation is only getting 30% of those margins, of those profits or that revenue, that is a 30% that they don't have to spend anything to get. Microsoft is doing all the spending.
Exactly. So what happens when Sony realizes, yo, none of our games are selling as well as those other games? Why should we continue making games? I'm just asking the question because that's the same argument with Xbox, right? Consoles aren't selling, right? As well as the 70 million consoles that are PlayStation. So why would, and it makes logical sense. So why would Xbox continue making consoles, right? If they can get somebody else's console, somebody else that paid to make the consoles, right? And they just put their games on there. Seems like a win-win, right? They stop making games. They don't got to spend money on that. And then boom, here you go. That to me makes sense. So what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, right? You're admitting that all these games that Xbox is putting on PlayStation, that 30% looks really nice because PlayStation's not spending any money on making those games. These are Xbox games, right? What happened when those games start selling incredibly well? What's the incentive for Sony to continue? I'm just asking the question. But remember, single player games don't matter. You said that. Live service games matter, right? Is maybe that's why they canceled the 12? Maybe they said, forget it. We'll just get the money that we can from Call of Duty. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they are going back to the drawing board and figuring out how to make a AAA single player games. But I didn't say it. That executive that sat down with Kind of Funny, he's the one that said, buy the remakes and remasters. I didn't say it. When the documents came out, when they were fighting the FTC, they're the ones that came out and said, hey, these AAA games, these live service games are the ones that fund our AAA endeavors. I'm not the one that said it.
Taxes was waiting and wondering.
Okay? So understand there
still
is
got
a
a lot
unique
more.
difference between PlayStation saying we want more live service gamers to play more live service games versus Xbox games coming over and them getting played on PlayStation. That doesn't hurt PlayStation at all. Okay? That's why PlayStation wants that to happen. $20 billion.
So you really think that Sony is okay with Xbox games charting? Actually, yeah. Do you think PlayStation is okay with Xbox games charting better, the single player games? If you said no, it doesn't matter, then your tweet looks even dumber again, because your tweet is about a single player game that didn't chart better. So why do you care? The problem with that tweet is that you ignored Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and you put a game that's you can't even buy on PlayStation. So already Indiana Jones has a handicap. Astrobot can be purchased by 70 million people. Indiana Jones doesn't have that 70 million player base that's on PlayStation, right? Only has PC and Xbox. Plus, it's on Game Pass. It better not have beaten anything. But then Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beat everything. So why would you even put that stupid tweet up? And then again, your video spoke from the gamer's perspective, and that's why I let it slide. But when you said that I didn't understand or whatever, I just proved you wrong.
In stock evaluation and the threat of those games no longer being there, that's what hurt PlayStation, and PlayStation is trying to jump in front of that in case Microsoft or somebody buys more games that are getting yanked off their platform. They're trying to control their own destiny. That's it. But now that Xbox is in the state that where it's in, PlayStation actually has a better deal. Their time with Call of Duty is actually better for them than it was under ABK. Why? Because they were only getting 20% with ABK. Now they're getting 30 again. And now it's probably to a point as far as higher margins. PlayStation knows that Xbox desperately needs them in order to sell these games, to, yes, subsidize Game Pass in hopes that it finally breaks the ceiling. You don't know. PlayStation could be negotiating with Xbox and saying, nah, instead of giving us 30%, you give us 35%, and sure, you can put your games over here.
You don't know that either. So what are you talking about? Shut up. You don't know that either. You don't know that either. You don't know that Xbox might be like, hey, we're going to take Call of Duty off your stupid little platform, and if you want it, you're only going to get 20%. Again, you're not talking as a gamer right now. You see how stupid this is? When we start talking about the money that these companies are making, all I was saying is, if this is who you are talking about money about these, I just want you to keep that same energy. So when you're excited that you're about to buy, right, more games, Xbox, you're about to fund Xbox more than you're funding PlayStation. That's all I'm saying. You are about to fund Xbox more than you're funding Sony. And Sony has a live service game. I guarantee you, if you ask Sony, would you prefer Helldivers 2 to sell like Call of Duty Black Ops 6? They would say, hell yes. But what's going to happen when all these Xbox games go over there? Because Sony is still making live service games. What do you think is going to happen when Halo Infinite goes over there? I know it's trash, but I guarantee it'll get played. I guarantee you, if Starfield drops on PlayStation, it'll be #1 bestseller that month. Maybe 3 months. Maybe 4. I guarantee it. All that trash talking about Starfield will go out the window. I guarantee it.
That's more margins. That's more profit for PlayStation. So no, Doc, your argument is a farce, and you can't keep going to the studio or to an abandoned car in the woods.
My argument is a farce on something that he just made up. You don't know if Sony is talking, saying 35%, so no. What are you talking about, dude? I know you're smarter than this, MM2K. Why are you making me do this?
To revise it every time you get chin checked. You're wrong. You don't understand the economics of this. Stop.
Neither do you. Stop. You don't understand these economics either. Stop. Or at least you're trying to act ignorant because you didn't mention Call of Duty, which was the #1, and it's Microsoft Corporation. Who's making more money off of Call of Duty? Sony or Xbox? Sony or Microsoft? Who's making more money off of Call of Duty? You want to say a stupid tweet like that, Indiana Jones 14th. How is it going to save Sony? It's not even on PlayStation. Bro, and I hate when they do this to me, bro. And he's not even like a Sony pony. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's happening.
And if you want to talk about pockets, put everything on the table. Show us why PlayStation is in trouble. Don't hypothesize it. Show us.
Is he losing his fucking mind? I'm sorry. He just showed it. They lost 20 billion. I didn't even know that. They lost 20 billion. You showed that. But again, I don't need to show it. Are you not listening to these interviews? Or did you not see why that PlayStation tried to stop the deal? Like what?
Because I can show
What's
you
up,
the
Silas?
reverse. The year before
Happy New Year, bro.
Xbox absorbed ABK, they made $15 billion. $15 billion. ABK brought in an annual around 8 to 9 billion. 8 to 9 billion, or let's just go with the lower number. 8 billion plus 15, Doc, is 23. How much did Xbox make when they absorbed ABK? That first fiscal, they made 21 billion.
This is the guy talking about money right now that said he wasn't talking about money, that he didn't switch it up. Now he's literally has. Guys, you can't make this up. I couldn't make this up even if I wanted to. He literally said my video. I was talking from what happened to talking from the gamer's perspective. Now you're talking about money, and you're still missing the point.
Huh? How did they go from 21.5 billion instead of making the full 23 billion?
I don't know. You tell me.
And you guys make fun of people like Nib. Nib broke this down. Activision Blizzard actually underperformed as it was being absorbed by Xbox. So they underperformed like close to $1 billion. And then the sales of Xbox consoles and Xbox activity started to drop, which led to an extra 1.5.
You see how disingenuous these people are? I just picked this up. Right now, when it's negative news about Activision, he's perfectly fine connecting it with Xbox. But he didn't put Call of Duty in that tweet. Come on, dude. Not you, bro. So when it's negative news about Xbox, you feel perfectly fine connecting Activision and saying that it underperformed under Xbox. It still underperformed on the Xbox, but it was still #1 on the charts. Call of Duty was, but you didn't mention that in your tweet. You pretended as if it didn't exist.
5 billion in revenue loss.
What is up, everybody?
Look, he
We are
talking
here
money
at
now.
Medieval Times, and we are so excited to tell
Come
you
on.
about our new show.
In contrast, PlayStation had a record fiscal year last year. They sold more consoles. And in this fiscal year, they're actually up 27.5 billion.
Bro. See, this is in line with his tweet. This is in line with his tweet was about money. And all I said is Indiana Jones can't save Sony. It's not even sold on Sony yet when you put up that tweet. That's what it was about. But there was a game that was being sold on PlayStation, and it was number one. And you just admitted how it's saving Sony. You said these games going over there and Sony making the 30% and they don't have to put any money into it. That's money that they're just getting, right? That's saving Sony. Xbox is going to do that more. There's going to be more games that Sony's going to be getting 30% from. That's saving Sony. As a gamer, you are winning. But if you're talking from the analytics, whatever, it is definitely saving Sony. So please argue with me this. Sony doesn't have to lift a dime to make an Xbox game. All they're doing is collecting the 30%. Yeah, it's saving Sony. Why would
They made 27.5 billion. So, Doc, where you keep coming up with these deep in the backwoods hypotheses, we can show you facts that contradict what you're saying.
What's the fact?
PlayStation is making more money than Xbox is with ABK.
That's not the argument. That's something else. That's something else these ponies do. They make up arguments that aren't even. When did I argue that? When did I argue that Xbox is making more money with ABK than PlayStation? When did I argue that? This is why you can't talk to these people. Tell me when did I argue that you're making this argument now? This video could have been 10 minutes long, but you decided to ramble about stuff that I'm not. And this happens all the time. Every time I make a video like this, it's like over an hour because these people argue things to me that I didn't even argue about. How do I know how much money Xbox is making off of ABK? I don't know. You know why? Because I don't care, because I'm a gamer. What I do care about is the fact that nobody knew that Sony was canceling 12 live service games. And now everyone's excited about these Xbox games. So you're going to be buying these Xbox games, I assume, from the excitement. Which means Xbox is going to be making money off of PlayStation fans. Which means they just redefined what an Xbox gamer is. You are an Xbox gamer now. You're going to be playing Xbox games. All this was about was your stupid tweet, which it was a stupid tweet. And right now you're making it even look dumber. You mentioned Indiana Jones, and then in this video you're saying that single player games don't matter. So why put up the tweet? You said that live service games matter, but there's a live service game in that chart that you conveniently ignored. What are we doing, MM2K? And I told you not to do this. I told you not to reply.
So nothing you say makes any sense. It's just backwoods.
Nothing you say make it.
Sun Star or whatever. It's tabloid conspiracy theorist stuff. When you break it down,
He said tabloid conspiracy theory stuff, and he literally just said a few minutes ago about you don't know if Sony's asking for 35%. No, you don't know. That's tap. I can't, bro.
PlayStation wants higher margins, and they want more live service activity on their PlayStation live service games. That I will concede. If that was your argument from the beginning, you would have gotten less friction from me. I would have just had to refine some of the facts that you were saying.
No, stop being stupid. Stop being stupid. So, no. Your argument. The tweet I replied to was your argument. Your argument wasn't about live service game. Your argument omitted live service games. That's your argument. I was just replying to that stupid tweet saying, bro, delete this. How is Indiana Jones going to save PlayStation when it's not even on the PlayStation? And right now, again, you just admitted PlayStation, Xbox games, because you can't have it both ways. Xbox games going to PlayStation means that PlayStation doesn't have to spend money on games. and they automatically make 30%, which you admitted they need the money, right? 20 billion or whatever. Not even you need to admit it. We know that they need the money because they want you to buy the remakes and remasters so that they can support the AAA games. They're making live service games because the money is in live service game, right? Who knows how much time and money they just wasted by canceling all those live service games, right? So I don't even need you to acknowledge it. This is public information, right? But Xbox now is saving Sony because they're putting their games over there. Oh, don't get it twisted. Xbox is going to be making money off of that as well. And the fact that there's nothing to play over there, bro, this is some scary times. As a PlayStation gamer, you are winning, yes. But I'm talking to every single fanboy out there, and they know who they are, that ever put up a chart, that ever put up Steam, concurrent players, that ever spoke from the money perspective of Sony. You can't do that anymore because you're going to be giving Xbox more money than you're giving PlayStation if you're buying their games more. Or are you going to disagree with me on that?
About PlayStation being in trouble. No, PlayStation is trying to be preemptive. They no longer have the threat that they thought they were going to have before because Xbox is now realizes that they need PlayStation. Call of Duty's going nowhere. Nowhere. It's just PlayStation realizes they need to avoid a scenario like this so they don't run into this again. It took them a full fiscal year to get that $20 billion in evaluation back. When you understand the markets and stuff like that, the way you're trying to hypothesize in, you understand why they can't afford even stock evaluation going down like this. This is my expertise. This is what I do for a living. You're trying to tell me that I don't understand something I do for a living while you're sitting in the backwoods somewhere. Stop.
I'm not saying that you don't understand it. Now I'm even more disappointed because now I know that you're lying. Because clearly you do understand it and you still admitted that Call of Duty was number one. Do you think Call of Duty had anything to do? So again, you just proved how wrong you are. So your tweet, how is Xbox saving PlayStation? Xbox is saving PlayStation by keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. You just admitted it. Right? Because again, this was a problem. They were terrified when they thought Call of Duty was going to be exclusive. But now that Call of Duty is not exclusive, we're saved. Your words, not mine. Right? Bro, you can't make this stuff up, bro.
You're not making any sense. And we've been talking about this before 2024 when Xbox waved the white flag. Me and Coldblood was having debates about this in 2022, 2023.
So why would you put that stupid tweet up, bro?
And no, I specialize in or focus in the business part of it. So no, my conversation that I was giving you yesterday was about the business. You're so disconnected from the business, bro, that you didn't understand it, which I'm urging you.
Didn't he say at the beginning of this video that he never switched up, that he was talking about the gamers?
Come on the platform, or we can go on any platform you want us to go on. If you want us to come to your neck of the woods, we'll come to your neck of the woods.
I will gladly go on your platform and go over this again.
Bring up what I've said. Bring it up correctly. My point in the tweet was,
what's your point of the tweet?
Why are we sitting there running this narrative that Xbox games will save PlayStation when they can't save themselves?
You just said in this same video that Sony was tripping because they thought that this game right here, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, was not going to be on PlayStation anymore. Right? You just said that. Xbox goes ahead and leaves Call of Duty back for whatever reason. They need to, whatever, doesn't matter. The game is left there. Now Sony is saved. But what I'm telling you is this tweet is stupid. You said Indiana Jones charting 14th in its debut month. How is it going to save PlayStation? It's not even being sold on PlayStation. So of course it can't save PlayStation. It's not even being sold there. What are you talking about? But if you're going to tell me that right now, most of the games that you're excited for are not Xbox games, you're lying. That's how it's saving PlayStation. Xbox is keeping PlayStation relevant. All these games going over to PlayStation makes PlayStation more exciting. PlayStation can cancel 12 live service games because Xbox is going to be feeding them games. That's why it's more. How else do you want me to break this down for you? I'm talking from the gamer's perspective right now, too. As a gamer, you're winning. Thank God that Xbox is putting games on your platform. Imagine if Xbox wasn't. Imagine right now if Xbox was not putting games on your platform. Come on, man. Stop playing with me.
PlayStation's concern is activity for the live service community. And yes, would it benefit PlayStation if there was more live service activity on their games? Yes, but that activity would have to be sustained. You can't just falsely go and play a live service game just to support it and be like, you know what, this is trash. So we're out of here. As a matter of fact, and Cold Blood, if he wants to, can chime in at any time. It's actually better that the PlayStation community is doing this, because if PlayStation wants to have effective live service games, they need to at least be good.
Not everybody cares about quality. Some people just want crap. If that's
I don't even know what the video that's turned into.
Every month.
There's a reason why my brother is sitting there kicking ass in Marvel Rivals right now and wasn't trying to cap for Concord.
No. Why isn't he playing Helldivers? No. Don't do that. Why isn't he playing Helldivers? Why isn't he playing Helldivers?
Ash. You do yourself no favors capping for bad games. So these are the growing pains that PlayStation needs to go through in order to create the live service games to make them more comfortable and to increase their margins.
I have no idea who he's arguing with right now.
But they're not dying. You don't understand the economics of this. So you think, oh, they're dying, so therefore they got to do this. No, they did this because of this. That's why they did it. They realized their live service portfolio was weak and it was too vulnerable for attack. It's still vulnerable, but they're not weak right now because Xbox isn't going anywhere. They're not going. As a matter of fact,
Xbox isn't going anywhere. Xbox is saving them. Thank you. Saying the same thing, different words, huh? You don't like it? Xbox is saving them. You just said it. It looks weak, but Xbox is not going anywhere. Oh, so Sony's relying on Xbox. Ain't that something?
Xbox increased their activity, which when any publisher comes, if they do have games that sell, that's always good for PlayStation because PlayStation is a marketplace. And that scenario that you gave about Walmart, it was just too fickle. It doesn't make any sense. What do you mean Walmart would prefer that you get the, home goods brand?
Are you honestly going to argue with me that you don't think PlayStation would prefer that in their top selling charts or all the top charts, all the games are Sony Corporation? The same way that if you walked into Walmart, you don't think they would prefer that if you walk out of Walmart, everything that you bought is a great value brand, the Walmart brand? Are you seriously going to argue that with me? Are you seriously going to argue that with me? Are you telling me that Sony wouldn't prefer to see, their games charts the same way that Nintendo has their game charts? Are you seriously going to argue that with me? Especially now, I understand when they didn't have live service games. I understand that because, hey, we don't have live service games, whatever. We'll just mooch off of these live service games. But now they have a live service game. They got Helldivers, and they were trying to make 12 more, right? So you said that live service games matter the most. Your tweet wasn't even about a live service game. That's why I came at you. And again, I let it slide because you try to flip it on your video and you said you were talking from the gamer's perspective. Clearly, you're not. You spoke about gamer's perspective for like 2 seconds, and now you're back on money. And now you admit that you're a money guy. You're admitting it. So why are you getting upset with me when I just let you slide? Your tweet was about money. Own it. And you know that your tweet was stupid because you didn't mention about the game that made the most money. Your tweet, oh my God, I can't believe I just figured that out. Your tweet was about money and you're a money guy, but you didn't dare to put the name of the game that's making the most money.
Walmart does not make anything. See, this is what you don't understand. It's horrible, even though I'm playing semantics here. I'm just doing what you do. Walmart does not make its own brand. Walmart licensing someone. So let's just say there's the Walmart brand cookies and the, what's it called, brand cookies.
Oh my God, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. So the Great Value brand is not the Walmart brand? The Great Value brand is not the Walmart brand? But even if they didn't make it, I'm willing to bet that you would admit that they make more money when they sell their brand, right? The Great Value brand, than if they sold another brand. Would you concede that at least? Wow, this is crazy. You are wilding right now.
Out there, right? Walmart makes its own cookies because they don't want people that want lower prices than the name brands. They don't want them to go elsewhere. So they partnered with somebody to make cookies that are $1, the $1.99 versions of the Chips Ahoy. Because if in case I can't pay $4.99 for Chips Ahoy, I can get the home brand version of the Chips Ahoy for $1.99. They still have to pay somebody, and the likelihood, because the Chips Ahoy version is $4.99 versus the $1.99, they might get higher margins on the
You think they might?
Chips Ahoy. Why would they get higher margins? Because not only do they have to partner with somebody and pay them to make it, they also got to pay for the shipping, because it's now their proprietary brand, where Chips Ahoy pays for the jobbing, the shipping, all that on their own, and once Walmart puts that on their shelves and sell it, everything is pure profit. You got to understand how this works if you're going to.
Do you think they make more money selling Chips Ahoy cookies or selling their own cookies? I can't believe he's actually arguing. Please tell me. Please tell me, because if they make more money, and again, this is where you're going to have a freaking problem with this. This is where you got to be crazy. This is why I don't want you to pretend you're stupid, since you're so freaking smart. If Walmart makes more money, okay, because you're talking about pure profit, right? And you're a money guy, right? Again, you're definitely way off the gamer's perspective. You're not even talking as a gamer right now. This is all money, right? So again, I proved you wrong on that. But if you believe that Chips Ahoy, right, that Walmart selling Chips Ahoy makes more money than them selling their brand of cookies, right? Why would Walmart continue making their own brand of cookie? What would be the point of that? To be nice to you? To be nice to me? If Walmart makes more money off of the Chips Ahoy, I get it. They don't pay. You said profit. Revenue and profit are two different things. Shout out to King Thrash. He taught me that years ago. Okay? Revenue and profit, two different things. Okay? If they make more profit, which is a word you use, from selling Chips Ahoy cookies, this is what the hell we talking about. You think they would still make their own cookies? Or what's the incentive to make their cookies better than the Chips Ahoy cookies? Now, stay with me now. If Sony is making more profit off of Xbox games, right? More profit off of Xbox games. What would be their incentive to continue making their own games or making their games better than Xbox games? They don't have to. Because Chips Ahoy is there to save Walmart. The same way Xbox is there to save PlayStation.
I want to use scenarios, brother, which I do. You don't. I've never switched it up. It's all been about the business.
Bro, you're not gonna gaslight me, bro. You're not gonna gaslight me, bro. You're not gonna gaslight me. You're not gonna gaslight me.
And if these games were exclusive, you would have an opportunity to wear Xbox for the holiday season. I'll talk about that in the video too. So I've been going back and forth with my brother, Doc Dark. This is not personal, y'all. Chill, Doc's the homie. And for those of y'all that don't realize our whole history over and over, a lot of fun there arguing and debating.
Come on.
Doc's the homie.
Come on.
We're too worked up about it. Anyway, So they're either intentional. What events am I talking about? That is the events of PlayStation gamers in a celebratory fashion.
Oh, hold on.
That is the event. People like my homie Doc, they're either intentionally trying to spin the events here or they don't understand it. What events am I talking about? That is the events of PlayStation gamers in a celebratory fashion, focusing on the Xbox games coming to PlayStation. Number one, there's been a constant.
Your tweet was not celebratory of Xbox games going to PlayStation. That was not what your tweet was about. So I don't understand.
So to your new tactic of, oh no, the live service. Yes, Sony does want more people to play their live service games more than other live service games.
Bro, Sony wants more people to play all of their games more than they play any other games. How would you even argue that? How would you dare argue that? How would you dare argue that? And then if you're going to say, no, I'm wrong, they want people to play more single player games that aren't theirs than their own, then how does that make you feel as a gamer, knowing that Sony doesn't care to make more games for you because you're going to be playing other people's games? Like where, somewhere, somehow, this got to make sense. I'm willing to bet that Sony would love their PlayStation chart to look bestsellers, be all of their games, to include 5 live service games that hopefully they make and are successful. I'm willing to bet.
But the core
You gotta end
business
this. This is
has
so long.
never
How long
changed.
is this? Oh my goodness, it's about to be 2 hours long.
Look who it is. This is Ju Yuen, a public security
I'm sorry,
officer.
guys. I'm sorry this
She's
video is
among
so
the best
freaking
in
long.
criminal investigations.
I gotta eat after this.
The core business remains. We use our exclusives to bring people to our platforms. So they buy the third-party games because we make the most money off the third-party games. That's why when you look at the ratio of PlayStation games, here, let me show you something. You want to criticize your brother? See, I'm down with your brother more so than you. You want to criticize your brother? Let me show you something that your brother put up here that just kills your narrative.
Here we go.
It kills the narrative. Let me show you this. There is no PlayStation doesn't have the capacity to build enough games, bro, where most of you play PlayStation games. That's, excuse me, never been their business. Like, let's look at these games. These are the overwhelming majority of PlayStation games that either are first party developed and first party owned, or like been developed by a first party. These are all the games that came out of PlayStation in 2014. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We got 23 games over what? A 7-8 year span. Mm-hmm. You're trying to tell me that 23 games are enough to cover the wide variety of gamers on a console platform? There's no way.
No, it's not. That's not what I try to say. Again, there you go, figuring out arguments that I'm not even making. When did I say that? What I'm telling you is that, let's say 2013, right? When they released Knack and Killzone Shadowfall, I bet you any money Sony would have loved if PlayStation gamers supported both of those games and made those games number 1 and 2 for that year. I bet you that in 2014, they would have loved if these 3 games were number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on their chart. I bet you that in 2015, they would have loved if MLB The Show was number 1 on their chart. I bet you if in 2016, those 3 games were number 1, 2, 3 on their chart. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But the problem is that what you and my brother are both forgetting is that games didn't cost the same in 2013 as they do now in 2025, which everyone conveniently forgets. They're telling us the games are way more expensive now than they've ever been, right? So now these sales matter even more. Getting full revenue and full profit matters even more now. That's all I'm saying. So your tweet was about Indiana Jones placing 14th, saying how is Xbox going to save Sony? It's not going to save it with Indiana Jones, number one, because Indiana Jones wasn't being sold on PlayStation. So that was a stupid tweet. But what was being sold on PlayStation was Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So that 30% or 35% that you just made up in your video, that was helping Sony. That's saving Sony. So right now, without you even noticing, you are admitting that third-party games are what keeps Sony afloat because there's not a variety. Okay, but what I'm telling you is Xbox is putting their games on PlayStation. So they're about to be the largest third-party games on your platform, i.e. saving Sony. We're saying the same thing. You just don't like to hear it this way. You are literally admitting that Sony doesn't make enough games for the variety of gamers. Thank God Xbox is here, and they're about to put games over there.
There is no way. PlayStation didn't even have the capacity when games cost less to develop back then to make more games than this.
So they need Xbox to put games over there. Thank you.
Exclusives are created to bring people to the platform. Once they get you to the platform, then they introduce you to the goods that they're selling that are multiplied. That's where they make the bulk of their money.
But your tweet didn't have the highest selling multiplayer on there, which is Call of Duty, which belongs to Microsoft. That's the whole problem with this tweet, is that you chose one Microsoft game out of all the Microsoft games that were on that list, and you excluded the Microsoft game that was number one. That's why I called you out on it. And in your video, when you flipped it, when you clearly said, I'm talking about his response to the PlayStation gamers that are in a celebratory fashion. You're not celebrating. You weren't celebrating in that tweet.
Would PlayStation
We're almost
prefer
done, guys.
that you buy just their games? No. There are so many other.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They're really stupid. Let me break this down. PlayStation would prefer for you to play and buy Helldivers more than you play and buy Call of Duty. Hands down. PlayStation would prefer games like Astrobot to be played and bought more than games like Indiana Jones. Okay? I'm saying with your tweet, they would prefer that. Okay? The reason though, but the problem with that analogy right there is that Indiana Jones doesn't compete with Astrobot on the PlayStation platform. Okay? What's going to happen when Xbox keeps putting their games on PlayStation and now the Xbox games start outselling the PlayStation games? That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's 70 million people, right, that have a PS5. Astrobot did not sell 70 million. So all I was saying is you guys are hyping up all these Xbox games. Y'all better continue hyping up Astrobot so more people could go ahead and look at it and buy it. Because that's what Sony needs. If you care about Sony. If you don't care about Sony and you only care about you, I get it and I respect it. The gamer's winning. You're going to play what you want. I don't care if it's a Sony game or not. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter if it's a first party game. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter. But again, I don't understand how this is confusing to you guys.
Other games being made out there, they prefer to just use a small section of games to bring you to their console and let everybody else do the work and then profit off of it. Then walk around like a mafia boss and just collect their cash. The proof is in the pudding.
if that was the case, why are they making live service games? You see how none of this makes sense? If they're walking around like a boss, like a mafia boss, right? A mafia boss is not gonna be on the corner doing what all his little goons are doing, what all his little minions are doing. They're not. They're collecting from all of it, right? So they chilling, right? So if they're okay being the mafia boss and just collecting everything, right? Why did they try to make 12 live service games? They should be okay collecting the money from Fortnite, collecting the money from Call of Duty, collecting the money from EA. They should be okay. They're not. And this is why I get frustrated with you guys, because you guys are so smart and intricate and are able to see the doom and gloom in Xbox, but you don't see it for your own platform. You can't make this argument and then say that Sony. Why is Sony trying to make 12 live service games then, if they're perfectly fine collecting from Xbox and everybody else? Are you? You know who's perfectly fine? You know what? I'll tell you. Do you think? You know who's perfectly fine? Nintendo's perfectly fine. They're the ones that are perfectly fine. Sony right now is not perfectly fine. Canceling 12 games or 10 games, whatever it is not perfectly fine.
Why do I say that? Because last fiscal year, PlayStation made $27.5 billion. I don't think Nintendo even made half of that.
Do not compare
and
Nintendo.
Nintendo lives primarily off its own exclusives.
Do not compare Nintendo.
You just got to do the simple math, Doc. You do the simple math, you'll understand it.
Here's a problem with all this. You hear what he's saying, right? And he's stupid enough to put it on screen, right? PlayStation is telling you it's not enough. In your own picture, PlayStation full-year revenue rises to $27.5 billion, but narrowly misses PS5 sales target. So the target that they wanted, they didn't reach. They have a reason for why they want that target. The target that they wanted, they didn't reach. Now remember, when Xbox misses a target, it's horrible. When PlayStation missing a target. Look at that. Helldivers. 12 million copies in 12 weeks. That's phenomenal. Not enough. Not enough. If it was enough, they would have been fine with just Helldivers and would have kept giving y'all AAA bangers. But maybe this cancellation of these 10 games is that. Maybe they've realized, hey, we have enough. Maybe that's what it is. And all I'm asking the PlayStation community is focus on PlayStation. Give us PlayStation news. But you have admitted plenty of different ways how Xbox and third-party developers are keeping Sony afloat. And apparently, according to you, they've been doing it for years. But now that Xbox is a third-party publisher, you don't like when we say that. When Xbox is the biggest third-party publisher, you don't like when we say that. See how this don't make sense?
That your hypothesis and your theories are bullpucky.
I like that word.
Sean Combs is a monster.
I want to speak about this now because I witnessed everything.
You didn't say nothing.
All right? And back to this, and then I'm going to close shop, and we're going to get back to this live stream.
What up, Texas Lean?
Bro, back to my tweet.
Yeah, I heard everything he just said. Hold on. I thought Xbox games were going to save PlayStation. If he would have ended the tweet there and didn't have this other stupid line here, right? You would have looked at this chart and would have been like, well, there is an Xbox game that's number one. The top 5 games on there aren't even PlayStation games. So does it make you feel better if we said everybody else is saving PlayStation? Is that what it is? Oh, no. As a matter of fact, what if we were more accurate and we said Microsoft and EA are saving PlayStation? Would that make you feel better? Would that make you feel better? Instead, though, with Indiana Jones starting 14th debut this spring, we know who's going to be saving who. What? How can Indiana Jones save PlayStation when it's not even being sold on PlayStation when you put out this tweet? And then in the same video, you said that single player games don't matter. What Sony cares about is live service games. Well, there's a live service game that, thanks to Xbox, is on PlayStation. And it's their number one selling game. it's an Xbox game. Thank you, Xbox, for saving PlayStation. Now, you can't now say PlayStation doesn't need saving, and you just went on a whole soliloquy showing me how throughout all the years, PlayStation relied on third-party games. Oh, Xbox is a third-party publisher now, and it's got the best-selling third-party game. Now what?
My tweet had nothing to do with gamers at all. It was all about business. Because you're the one making the argument. PlayStation dies and Xbox is saving them while making the argument we need to play more PlayStation games. Not PlayStation Live Service games, but PlayStation games. The fact of the matter is
Facts. You see Astrobot? Astrobot should have been in Hogwarts Legacy. Astrobot should have been in Sonic X Shadows. Astrobot should have been in Sony Mario Party. Maybe not the other live service games, right? We'll be a little bit realistic. But Astrobot should have been all the way up there. You know what I'm saying? That's where Astrobot should have been. And then Spider-Man should have been right behind it. That's where it should have been. And then Helldivers, an actual Sony live service game, should have been all the way up there. That's what I'm saying. But you guys are more excited about non-Sony games. Which is perfectly fine. You're the gamer. I'm just telling you, Sony needs you to play their games. That's all. And again, you're the ones talking about that I didn't mention live service games. You didn't mention live service game. This is a tweet about Indiana Jones. That's why I told you to delete it.
PlayStation isn't doing this because they're dying. They're doing this to safeguard their margins. And they're doing it primarily to avoid losing access to successful live service games.
Because they'll die. Because they'll die. I know you don't like that, right? And I'm being hyperbolic, right? The same way when people put the title. Did you watch the video where I said Sony's dead? I started the video saying, did you click on it? Did I get you to click on it? Clearly, I'm telling you that I'm doing this so that you click on it. The same way that a whole bunch of Sony content creators say Xbox is dead all the time. They'll put up the title that's not reality. It's a little bit over embellishing. Sony is dead. Obviously, Sony is not dead. Sony is dying though. But they're not dying because Xbox is saving them. By your own admission, Sony makes the majority, I don't know, whatever you want to say. Sony relies on third-party publishing. They only need a first-party to get you in there, and then they rely on a third-party publisher. Well, guess what? Xbox is going to be, the third-party publisher is going to be dominating on the PlayStation 5, which then in turns mean Xbox is saving Sony. I know you don't like to hear it that way, but that's essentially what you said.
So they're saying we are going to go through the ROI and all that stuff to build a live service game and put it on there. That's why a lot of these live service games, they're just partnering with people because they would rather not have to develop them because that's more investment they got to make. But they foolishly panicked, bought Firewalk for Concord, got first party studios making a couple of games and that fizzled. And these are the growing pains that they need to go through to make successful live service games. And those live service games will, if done right, will do what they need them to do.
Right. My whole beef with all of this was the fact that nobody knew that Sony was canceling all these games. Nobody knew. Everybody knew everything was going on with Xbox. Nobody saw this coming.
But don't confuse the business. The business is you looking at their exclusive games, not even necessarily live service, their exclusive games and saying, I want a PlayStation and I want to buy all my other games on PlayStation. That's the business. It was the same last generation. It's the same this generation.
It is not. It is not. It is not. They're telling you it is not. They're telling you buy our remakes and remasters so we could give you your AAA games. It is not. That's the problem. You think it's the same as the last generations and the generations before that. It is not the same. And that's why I mentioned in my video, you don't change, you become Blockbuster. Blockbuster was amazing. Had an amazing business. Felt great to go in there. You could smell the popcorn and everything. Right? But they didn't adapt. Sony is trying to adapt by making these 12 live service games themselves. Do you know why? Because the business that was, hey, we pull you in and we just make money off of everybody else, might not be the same now. It might not. And all I'm trying to tell you, and again, this is what's so crazy. It's like I'm arguing to save Sony and these idiots don't even see it. They're getting mad at me that I'm telling them to buy and play PlayStation games. How crazy is that? They're getting mad at me that when I'm telling them like, hey, you should be excited about PlayStation games. I know there's still PlayStation games out there you haven't played because the sales show it. There's 70 million of you. I don't know how much Astro Bot sold, but I know it didn't sell 20 million. So there's at least 10 more million people that you could be advertising to so that they could buy PlayStation games, so that they could fund more of the. And if you don't even want to go with the single player games, Helldivers, get more people to buy Helldivers. But I'm the bad guy.
The only difference is that PlayStation has lower margins this generation, so they are closing the gap on day and date in PC, which I think is foolish. But that's why they're doing it, because of the margins. Not because, oh, they're in trouble. Because if they're in trouble, Xbox is in trouble. Why? PlayStation is in single-digit margins. Temporarily, they're in single-digit margins because of production costs and the cost of the yen, which that's way over your head. I ain't gonna try to even.
This is how. Come on, MM2K. You can't be this freaking stupid, bro. Do you think you're saying that Xbox is in more trouble than Sony? As if you forgot who their parent companies are. But you're the money guy. Xbox is only in trouble if Microsoft decides not to fund them. That's it. Xbox could lose money every single year. If Microsoft wants to fund them, they're perfectly fine. Sony can't lose. PlayStation can't lose money. PlayStation is one of the main sources of income for Sony. You're the money guy. Don't say something stupid again. I'm not even the money guy, and I know this.
Even explain that to you. And it's only a temporary thing where Xbox admitted during the FTC trial, bro.
Listen, I'm going to say something too, right? Sometimes I get upset when I call people idiot and stupid. You can call somebody stupid and an idiot without even saying it. So even that right there when he said, I'm not even going to talk to you about the yen, right? That's condescending. That's saying, I'm not even going to explain it to your dumb ass. That's pretty much what he's saying. At least that's the way I'm taking it. So when people get upset like, oh, you call people stupid and idiot. Look, bro, I call myself a stupid and idiot all the time too. Okay? I call my kids that too. If you're doing something stupid or you're being an idiot, then it is what it is, right? That statement right there is almost as if you forgot that Microsoft owns Xbox. Like,
that they're always in single-digit margins. Always.
Remember, guys, this is a guy that's
That's
talking from his perspective.
I don't even know if I'm going to do a video, but just understand that if you're going to mention what we said, you have to mention it correctly. And if you don't have the ability to mention it correctly, sit back and just be honest and self-aware. I'll give you a prime example and then I'm going to get out of here.
Bro, that's so ironic. That's so ironic. Be honest and be self-aware. Hold on. I thought Xbox was supposed to save PlayStation. How, with Indiana Jones charting number 14, now this spring we're going to see who saves who. Completely omitted that an Xbox game was the number one selling. That's wild. And then in this video, admitted that he said that live service games are more important than single player games. He literally said the words, who cares? So why put up that stupid tweet? I'm putting this up there live with everybody. If I'm misinterpreting what he's saying, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to it. Go watch his channel though. Go show him some love. Just go.
When I first started covering Stadia, I didn't understand how cloud gaming worked. I didn't understand the technology. There were a few times that I went out there, but I understood dedicated gaming crazy. Like I said, they used to call me Dr. Spreadsheets. Go ask your brother. I had your favorite content creators coming to me and asking me, oh, what is this? What does this mean? What does that mean, right? I used to feed your favorite content creators. I went over to cloud gaming, not fully understanding how that worked, and was making hypotheses like you are based on dedicated gaming. And they didn't work. They didn't make, people had to check me. They said, Maz, you're not making any sense. And they schooled me, and I had to go back and correct the record. This is a correct the record moment for you. I told you, Doc, you're going through the same path that I did. Just stop fighting it. With that said, we're out of here. Shout out to my brother Cold Blood. He took a break on the gameplay. We will be back. Oh no, check out the gameplay. Marvel Rivals. Until
there you go. MM2K News. Shout out to my dude. Go watch his channel. Man, this was a long stream. I hope people stick around and actually watch it, because this shows you how people try to argue in circles, and that's why I like typically keeping my videos short, because it's typically just one point. Boom. This is what I'm talking about, and I try to keep your attention span like that. But people get misconstrued and stuff like that. At the end of the day, this whole thing was about that tweet that he put up, and I didn't respond to the tweet because in his response video, when I heard it, he was talking from the gamer's perspective when he said a celebratory, spinning the narrative of a celebratory PlayStation gamer. That's not what your tweet was about. Your tweet was not about a celebratory. Your tweet was about Xbox saving PlayStation. And in your own video, you proved multiple times, how Call of Duty Black Ops 6 still being on PlayStation is good for PlayStation and saves them. You proved that. But guess what? Black Ops 6 is an Xbox game. Dog1985. There's levels to this. We out. Peace.